is going on, Internet? Another video coming at you from the Washington Football Report. This is JD. Let's dive into this. But before I dive into this, please hit the subscribe button and share it to all your friends so they can subscribe. My goal is to get to 500 subscribers before the draft. And then we'll progress from there. But I just want to get to 500 for the draft. So if you could hit that subscribe button and then share it to all your friends so they can like it as well. And also follow me on Twitter. It's the Washington Football Report, WFT Report. I'll show it to you here in a minute at the end, so you know what it looks like. And then also I recommend joining Cited. It's just basically a sports debate app where you can there's polls and then you can add your 2 cents in, or 10 cents or 20 cents, whatever, however many cents you got, into the discussion. It's pretty fun. You get points for doing it. I don't know if they give awards for doing it, but you get some points just for creating some participating, and it's pretty cool. I recommend you follow me. It's Washington Football Report on that as well. So I got to talk about a few things that have gone on the last couple of days. I only have graphics for a couple of them. Yeah, so let's start with the first topic. Is Trey Lance. Trey Lance has his pro day. I think it's today at 12 p.m. It's noon. He has his pro day, and Martin Mayhew and Scott Turner are both going to be at this pro day. I'm going to give my opinion on this, and it's not like, I'm very hopeful, like I'm always hopeful that we can find the quarterback of the future, whatever. But I think we are, like, everyone is blowing this out of proportion, like how good this guy can be. Okay? I wish I had the graphic. I wish I had time to go back and look for it. I saw a graphic last week, or earlier this week, that went through the level of competition that Trey Lance played against. And the level of competition he has played against is just atrocious. Like, the best team he's played against is like Old Dominion or something like that last year. So he doesn't have any like legit FBS contenders that he's actually played against under his belt to show that he can play against a legit defense with real speed and real ability. He's mainly only played against, it's called FCS, football championship series, I think is what it's called, where you actually play for like an actual tournament to be the champion, rather than FBS, which is the football college bowl series is what it's called. And they don't play any teams that are in the FBS. They played all FCS teams, which is basically Division II football. There's less talent there. I mean, there is talent there, don't get me wrong. There can be talent there for sure. But there's less talent overall, consistently. And the best team that he played, and I don't like a lot of the quarterbacks in this draft other than like one. One I'm sold on, and that's Zach Wilson. But like, I'm just going to take Mac Jones for an example. Mac Jones, the worst team Mac Jones played is like 40 points higher on the like difficulty scale than Trey Lance's best team. It's like I think it's Missouri, I think was the worst team that Alabama played this year. And yeah, they're just not, it's not, I just don't understand why everyone's so enamored with Trey Lance. He looks good against lesser talent. You know what? You know what he should do? What he should do is he should transfer to a real school, like a legit school, and he transfers there, and then play a year there. And if he plays a year there and he puts up similar numbers and puts up good stats, you know, the whole 30 touchdowns, 1 interception, whatever, and running touchdowns, and he just lights up the field, then I think that people should start putting him on the pedestal that they've already put him on. But as of right now, I think he's just way overblown. I think he's way overrated for someone who's played in such a talentless level of football. Okay, a talentless level of football. Yeah, if he's semi-athletic and semi-talented, he's going to look really good against untalented people. Okay, all the things they're saying about Trey Lance is similar things that they said about Carson Wentz. Okay, now Carson Wentz had a good season or two, but the only time he's had a good season or two is whenever the team was completely loaded around him. The 2017, the year that the Eagles won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles as a backup coming into play because he got injured. When Wentz got injured, he had the best offensive line. He had the best defense. He had weapons everywhere. He had a solid running game. I mean, he had I think he had one or two tight ends that were good. I mean, he definitely had Zach Ertz. I don't remember if he still had Brett Selleck or not. I don't remember that. He could have, but he could not have to. It's definitely possible either way. So, but yeah, he didn't have. He had to have had a loaded team to play well. And then we've seen the last couple seasons when he starts getting a diminished team, it doesn't play all too well. Okay, so I don't understand why everyone's so like wowed by it. I mean, I get it. I get why they're wowed. I do get that, but there's a lot of lack of logic in this. That in the past, like, we're just desperate to get a quarterback, and we're just reaching at straws right now. I'd rather get somebody. I don't. If we're gonna trade up and get someone, get Zach Wilson. Okay, Zach Wilson, way more proven to be a good quarterback than Trey Lance. Played better competition, played higher level competition, and he thrived in higher level competition play compared to Trey Lance. So I don't know. I'm not sold on it, and we've done this thing where we've gotten the quarterback who's only really played one real season and done well, and I don't understand why we keep going back to this. I don't understand that. Zach Wilson's played a couple seasons now, and he's more experienced, and I don't understand why we keep doing the same rinse, wash, repeat. And we're just so enamored with this with players that if he came from like a legit school that played legit competition, like I don't know, Trevor Lawrence, I would be a little more inclined to be like, okay, I can understand the hype. That's like Dwayne Haskins. Made way more sense than this. Dwayne Haskins' hype made way more sense because Dwayne Haskins played for one of the big conference, big schools, put up 50-plus touchdowns playing in one of the toughest football divisions in the nation. Okay, Trey Lance put up nowhere near that in a season in a lesser division. Granted, he may have lesser talent around him, but point being is he's playing lesser competition. He should be lighting it up. He should be running circles around people, and he's not doing that. Okay, he played well, but I don't get why Washington fans are so enamored and so like obsessed with him. I don't personally get it. Okay? If you have like a reasoning that legitimate, and I'm just overlooking it, put it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your reasoning as to why Washington needs to go all in and just trade up and get Trey Lance. Whenever we could probably just trade like a third rounder or something, get Sam Darnold, or we can sign Jameis Winston, or we can leave Mariota, or we can just wait till our pick and maybe get Mac Jones. I don't like Mac Jones. Don't get me wrong. I don't like that. But I'd rather have Mac Jones and him be an okay quarterback because I know he played high-level competition. I know he can handle it. Okay? Whether he's talented enough to be extremely good or not is the question. But if I know he can handle playing high-level competition at a high-level place. I know he can handle that. I don't know if Trey Lance can handle that. I don't know if the pressure of the NFL is going to get to him or any of those things. So that's so they're not, like I said, I'm not. Who would I rather have, Trey Lance or Mac Jones? I think the ceiling's higher on Trey Lance. I'll give you that. But Mac Jones, to me, I'd rather have him because I know he can play at a high level in like big stages. Because that's what Alabama does. As much as I don't like Alabama, and I don't like a lot of the prospects to come out of Alabama, like on the offensive side, because they're mainly just a solid defense, and then the offense is okay, and it's okay enough to win because you just grind the team down. I would rather have a quarterback that comes from a situation where he's used to being put on the pedestal, there's a lot of pressure, and the quarterback does well in that, rather than going to a place where there's no pressure, he can play as free as possible. And the one time he did have to play with a little bit of pressure, he caved. It was the one game he played this year, he didn't play very well at all. So, that's my opinion on Trey Lance. I'm not going to talk too much about it. I don't get it. If we get him, I'm not going to be upset that we got a quarterback. At least we took a chance, and maybe Ron will do a better job of developing him than Jay Gruden did of trying to develop Dwayne, and then Ron did developing Dwayne. So maybe that's the case. Maybe that's what happens. Washington does a better job of doing that. I don't see it happening. Just being honest, I don't think it is going to happen. But I'm going to be an eternal optimist when it comes to my team. Yeah, so I'm gonna jump to another topic here. I'm not using the graphic. I'll use a graphic for this, but the other topic is we I guess it's like, franchise tendered or something like that. 2 players. First one was Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen, we franchise tendered. It's like 800 or 645K this year. So we have 2 quarterbacks on the roster, well, 3 if you count Steven Montez. So now we have 3 quarterbacks on the roster, and we also franchise or not franchise tagged, free agent tendered Cam Sims for like 600K. I'm actually astounded by that because I thought Cam Sims was a free agent. He's not. He's a restricted free agent, which means Washington has rights to re-sign him to a certain deal. It's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like the NBA where you have that +1 and the team has the option. I guess it's something like that. But Washington, I thought he was going to get a little more money. I thought he was going to get a little bit more of a payday, like maybe like $2 or $3 million a year on a prove it. But no, Washington can tender him for 600K for 1 more year, and then we can pay him next year if we decide that he's worth it and he's played well. I think he's played well. I think for an undrafted player, I think he's done very well, and I think he's not a second option. Even though last year he played as a second option, I did like him last year in that role. He didn't do bad. I think he did pretty well. There's some big drops that I have an issue with, but for the most part, I was very happy with the way Cam Sims played last year. And I think next year, if we're probably gonna do both. We're gonna sign a receiver and draft one. We're probably gonna sign a big name receiver like Kenny Galladay or Chris Samuel or something like that, or maybe Juju Smith-Schuster. We're probably gonna sign one of those few guys, one of them, and then we're gonna draft somebody like an Amari Rodgers out of Clemson or something like that. I have a draft preview. I'll go over all that, but I want free agency to go through first before I actually do make any more videos about that. I mean, I'll talk about every move we make, but I don't want to do a mock draft. A channel that I recommend everyone go watch it's on the Warpath. They did a mock draft. They did a mock draft like last week sometime. And as much as I love doing mock drafts, I think they're fun. I think they're really enticing, and you can go through a lot of scenarios with trade ups and trade downs. I'm just doing this so that the screen doesn't time out. As much as I love doing all those things are really fun to me. I really straight up enjoy those things. The problem I have with the issue I have is there's so many things that can happen between now and the draft. Like literally in 5 days, free agency opens up. Let's just hypothetically say this for a second. Let's say the first day of free agency, Washington trades for a quarterback, signs a receiver, signs an offensive tackle. Well, that throws a lot of things out of a lot of people's ideas of what Washington's going to do. Okay, so as of right now, I presume that a lot of people presume that Washington seems like they're going to trade up for a quarterback. Maybe Trey Lance, maybe Zach Wilson, whatever the case may be. They're going to trade up for one of those guys. Okay, but if they trade for, let's say they trade for Sam Darnold and then extend Darnold, pick up his 5th-year option after they trade for him, that throws a wrench in that. Now, what are we focusing on? So there's a lot of things like that, and I can make a million videos, and eventually, I'll get one person writing every video, but that's not what I'm doing. I think Washington, we'll see. I don't know. I knew Jay Gruden. I knew Bruce Allen. I could kind of guesstimate what they were going to do based on past behavior. Don't know Ron. I think Ron has a particular way he does like to draft and do things, and that's good because it's not the way we've done things in the past. But it's also hard as a YouTuber or as a person who wants to kind of guess and put my finger on the pulse of what Washington football team is going to do. And it's hard to do that because we don't know Ron Rivera too well. I mean, last year's draft, I got it pretty close. Some of it, not all of it, but some. And Cam Newton just signed with the Patriots. That's such good news. Oh my God, thank God. Nothing would have made me more upset than Washington signing. Now I can be relieved at that. Cam Newton re-signs with the Patriots. That is such good news. Man, that's good news. Okay. Whew, okay. That literally just popped up on my feed, and I'm a happy camper now. Woo. Okay, because I do not want Cam Newton on this team. I think so many people were so enamored with him and wanted him to play for Washington. I mean, Ron wanted him. They played last year. Whew, okay, but I don't know. We'll see what Ron wants to do. I think Ron wants to take the low risk, high reward route right now, but he's also a riverboat Ron, so he might roll the dice and go for someone big. We'll see. But I just wanted to post a video talking about Trey Lance, talking about we signed Kyle Allen. I don't think Kyle Allen is the option that Washington wants to go at with quarterback, but I just think he makes it so if they had to, Ron's comfortable with him running the offense. He's not going to do it great. He's not going to do it bad. He's going to kind of do mediocre, which his team has proven we can win pretty well with mediocre with our defense and the weapons we have. And Kyle Allen didn't do. I don't think he did horrible when he was in. I think he got a raw deal and he played some rough games, some good teams, and he got injured. And I think if he would have got injured, I don't know. I'm not sure about Ron. You said that we got the same result whether Kyle Allen was playing or Alex Smith. I don't think that's 100% true. I think you're discrediting some facts about Alex Smith, about his leadership, about how he rallies the troops around him, and how the guy with a broken leg who came back from a broken leg, 17 surgeries, worked out hard and everything, comes back and battles back. So, and then that kind of person can inspire those around him much better than someone who, hey, I'm here because I used to play for the guy in another system in for another team. Okay, and I'm not trying to diminish like what Kyle Allen is, but that's pretty much why he's with Washington. He has experience with working with Ron on another team. It's not that I'm not saying he's not talented, but he just knows the system, so he's there based on familiarity. Not so much based on he's the most talented guy in the room, so we got to have him on our football team. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this video. I think I went on a little bit long. Like I said, I'm not going to hate it if we get Trey Lance. I'm a Washington guy. Whoever we get, I'm going to be happy and I'm going to cheer for him. However, I don't see why everyone's so enamored with Trey Lance. Okay, I just don't get it. If you think if you have a reason, please put it in the comment section down below. More power to you if you like him. I personally don't. But it is what it is, and I'm not gonna judge anyone for doing that. But I personally don't see why he's so good. I think it's a high risk, low reward. If you trade up 3 picks to get him, and he's your typical Division II quarterback who is only going to be mediocre, you gave up 3 picks for a quarterback that we could have got something the same at the pick at 19, and we missed out on 2 next year's picks. I think it's just I think it's high risk, or low reward. I think it's high risk, medium reward. I think at the very best he'll be a medium quarterback, and he could play well. I don't know, because the way we're going with quarterbacks in the NFL, we are going to more of a just making sure the screen doesn't time out. We're going towards more of a run style quarterback, so it makes sense. Oh, I said I wanted to show you guys my Twitter. My phone is sideways. Give me 1 second. I'm kind of looking at it sideways here. So this is my Twitter right here, and this is the name right there, WFT Report. So yeah, follow me there. And the last thing I want to show you, and I'm sorry it's sideways, is Sided. Sided's very cool. There's a lot of debates on there. You can debate on anything. You can debate anything from sports to relationship things, politics if you want. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's it. That's my video. I want to thank everyone for watching. Hail to the Redskins. See ya.